Alright, I realized that after looking at a day with decimals that some of you may need some extra help with number 4. So I am going to provide you with some help and use it as needed. So it says Ellen earned $6.50 per hour babysitting last week. If she babysat for a total of 12 hours, how much money did she make? Alright, so I'm going to start by making a window pane. And I'm going to read this again. It says Ellen earned $6.50 per hour babysitting last week. Okay, so I see the word per, and I'm right above that I'm going to write the word each, because every time I see the word per, I need to think every hour, each hour. If she babysat for a total of 12 hours, so it's asking me, or it's telling me that she babysat for 12 hours, how much did she make? Sounds like I'm going to want to find out the total amount that she made. Okay, so let's start with this. How much money did she make? And I'm going to answer that by saying she made blank. And I'm going to put my dollar sign there. She's making some money. The two things that we're keeping up with is we're keeping up with our money amount and we're keeping up with our hours. So I'm thinking to myself, well, if she works 1 hour, she's made $6.50. Okay. If she works another hour, she's made another $6.50. If she works a third hour, she makes $6.50. And it looks to me like she's making the same amount every time. So do we have equal or unequal pieces? That's right, we have equal pieces. And anytime we have equal amounts, we're either multiplying or we're dividing. Now what I'm wanting to know is when she gets to the hour 12, what will this dollar amount be? What will this total be? And in order to find out the total, I would not be dividing, but I would be multiplying. So I'm going to set this problem up. This problem is involving decimals, which is why I'm giving you some help. $6.50 goes on top because the number with more digits needs to go on top. Trust me, it's just easier that way. And we're going to multiply that dollar amount by the $12. By the 12 hours. So I've got my problem set up. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and make a quick estimate so I can rule out silly answers. So when I make a quick estimate, I really don't want to use decimals. Decimals can kind of weigh you down. So I'm thinking to myself, what is $6.50 closer to? $6 or $7? That's right. It's really closer to $7. And I can either multiply this by 10 because I know that's easy math. That's about $70. Or I could go ahead and bump this on up to 12, which would make that closer to $84. So I'm thinking that this is probably, these two numbers right here, these are good estimates to use. All right, so my answer should be somewhere around $70 to $84. All right, let's go back over here and let's multiply. So when you multiply with a decimal, basically we're going to pretend like the decimal is not even there until we're done. So I'm going to pretend like this is just 650 times 12. So I'm going to start with 2 times 0, which is 0, and 2 times 5, which is 10. Record your 0, carry your 1, and 2 times 6 is 12, plus 1 more makes 13. I'm going to cross out this number here, cross out the 2, and don't forget your 0. Now I'm going to multiply everything by the value 1. 1 times 0 is 0, 1 times 5 is 5, and 1 times 6 is 6. Now that I have these two partial products, I'm going to add them together. So this would be 0, 0, 8, and 7. And we all know that 7,800 is not anywhere close to 70 or 84. So I have to think to myself, where is that decimal point going to go? Well, next week when we're talking about decimals, we're going to look at the relationship between the number of places that are behind the decimal and where that decimal place goes. But for today, I want you to acknowledge that there's 2 places behind the decimal. So we're going to go to the end of this number and we're going to bump it over 2 place values. 1, 2. And when we do, what ends up being our number? $78. And isn't 78 right between 70 and 80? That's right. That answer is how much she made for 12 hours of work.